In the quiet town of Havenbrook, nestled among rolling hills and charming countryside, life moved at a leisurely pace. The townsfolk went about their daily routines, cherishing the tranquility that enveloped their community. But little did they know that their peaceful existence was about to be shattered. Emma, a young and tenacious journalist, had always been drawn to the mysteries that lurked beneath the surface. With an insatiable curiosity, she sought to uncover the truth and shed light on the shadows that danced just out of sight. Emma worked tirelessly at the local newspaper, her passion for the written word driving her forward. One fateful day, as the sun began its descent, a stranger arrived in Havenbrook. His arrival was unassuming, slipping into town like a whisper in the wind. His appearance was shrouded in mystery, his eyes harboring secrets that begged to be unraveled. Emma, ever vigilant, sensed something peculiar about this stranger. There was an aura of intrigue that clung to him, a magnetism that demanded attention. She couldn't resist the pull, her journalistic instincts urging her to dig deeper and uncover the truth behind his enigmatic presence. Taking to the streets of Havenbrook, Emma embarked on a quest to learn more about the mysterious stranger. She approached the locals, seeking information and insights into his past. However, she encountered reluctance and unease, as if a veil of silence had descended upon the town. Whispers floated through the air, hushed conversations hinting at strange occurrences since the stranger's arrival. Undeterred by the townsfolk's reticence, Emma persisted. She frequented the local diner, a gathering place where secrets were often unwittingly shared. There, she engaged the owner, hoping to unearth hidden tales that might shed light on the stranger's purpose. The owner, with a cautious gaze, alluded to unsettling events that had transpired since the stranger's arrival, events that defied explanation. Emma's pursuit of truth led her to Daniel, a respected historian in Havenbrook. Known for his vast knowledge of the town's history, Daniel had a deep understanding of the intricate tapestry that wove the past and present together. Emma saw in him a potential ally, someone who could help decipher the cryptic puzzle that surrounded the stranger. Together, Emma and Daniel examined the mysterious symbols that had come into Emma's possession. They pored over books and old manuscripts, seeking clues hidden within the town's forgotten lore. As they meticulously pieced together fragments of information, a faint glimmer of understanding began to emerge. The stranger's arrival seemed to coincide with a sudden disappearance, a prominent figure in the town vanishing without a trace. Emma and Daniel sensed a connection, an invisible thread linking the stranger to the enigmatic event. It was as if the arrival of the stranger had stirred a dormant darkness, a sinister force that had lain dormant beneath Havenbrook's idyllic surface. And so, as the sun set on the first day of the stranger's arrival, Emma and Daniel found themselves on the precipice of a journey into the unknown. The winds of change blew through Havenbrook, and their relentless pursuit of the truth would test their courage, their resolve, and their very understanding of the world they thought they knew. Little did they realize that the mysterious stranger was merely the tip of the iceberg, concealing a web of secrets that would forever alter the destiny of Havenbrook and its inhabitants. The hidden shadows began to unfurl, and with every step Emma took, the boundaries of her reality grew ever more uncertain. As the dawn painted the sky with hues of gold, the town of Havenbrook stirred awake, unaware of the shadows that lingered just beyond their gaze. Emma, driven by an insatiable thirst for truth, continued her pursuit of answers regarding the mysterious stranger who had infiltrated their once serene community. Emma's inquiries led her to the doors of a small, quaint diner, the heartbeat of the town. A place where locals gathered to share stories, laughter, and the occasional bout of gossip. She approached the owner, a weathered individual with wise eyes that held tales of days long past. Seated at the worn-out counter, Emma engaged the owner in conversation, her questions hovering in the air like a flock of restless birds. She sought any shred of information, any fragment of insight into the stranger's arrival and the eerie events that had unfolded since. The owner, casting a wary glance over his shoulder, leaned in, his voice lowered to a conspiratorial whisper. He spoke of nights when shadows danced with an otherworldly grace, when whispers carried on the wind spoke of something sinister stirring beneath the surface. Unexplained happenings had plagued the town since the arrival of the stranger, unsettling the once unshakable sense of security that had held Havenbrook in its gentle embrace. With every word uttered, Emma's intrigue intensified. The gravity of the situation became clear, there was more at stake than mere curiosity. As she listened intently, her mind raced, connecting the dots between the stranger's presence and the unease that had permeated the town. Undeterred by the owner's cryptic warnings, Emma sought to dig deeper, to peel back the layers of secrecy that had woven their way into the fabric of Havenbrook. She pressed for further details, for any additional hints that might shine a light on the true nature of the stranger's intentions. Word of Emma's relentless pursuit began to circulate through the town, drawing the attention of the locals who harbored their own suspicions. Some, burdened by fear or loyalty, chose to keep their knowledge hidden, unwilling to tread the treacherous path of the unknown. Others, though hesitant, saw in Emma a glimmer of hope, a beacon of curiosity that refused to be extinguished. It was in this delicate balance of uncertainty and curiosity that Emma's path intertwined with that of Daniel, the historian whose vast knowledge of Havenbrook's history held the potential to unlock the secrets hidden within the town's veins. Emma sought out Daniel, recognizing his invaluable insight. Together, they retreated into the depths of the town library, a treasure trove of forgotten tales, dusty tomes, and the weight of history. With furrowed brows and fingers tracing ancient pages, they sought to decipher the enigma that had gripped Havenbrook in its clutches. Through hours of diligent research, Emma and Daniel uncovered fragments of stories that hinted at a forgotten past, a past intertwined with the stranger's presence. They pieced together narratives of a secret society, long thought extinct, that had once thrived in Havenbrook's midst. The tendrils of darkness extended far beyond what they had imagined, leaving a trail of questions in their wake. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Emma and Daniel emerged from the library, their minds brimming with newfound knowledge. The town's history had begun to unravel, revealing the threads that connected the stranger to a bygone era. Yet, the puzzle remained incomplete, and the mysteries continued to deepen, beckoning them further down the rabbit hole. With each revelation, the tension in Havenbrook grew, the sense of foreboding tightening like a noose around the community's collective consciousness. Emma and Daniel stood at the precipice of a truth that threatened to reshape their understanding of the town they called home. The path ahead was treacherous, yet their determination remained unyielding as they prepared to face the next chapter of their investigation, their resolve fortified by the knowledge that uncovering the truth was their only hope in the face of the encroaching darkness. As the moon cast an ethereal glow upon Havenbrook, Emma and Daniel delved further into the labyrinthine secrets that veiled the town's history. Their relentless pursuit of truth had unearthed whispers of a forgotten past, weaving a tapestry of intrigue and uncertainty. Guided by their insatiable curiosity, Emma and Daniel found themselves standing before a weathered wooden door, the entrance to the town's humble library. Its shelves sagged under the weight of time, each book a portal to a different era, holding the stories of those who came before. Within the hushed sanctuary of the library's walls, Emma and Daniel embarked on a quest for answers. Their fingers trailed across faded spines, their gazes locked onto pages yellowed by the passage of time. They sought hidden knowledge, the breadcrumbs left behind by those who had walked the town's paths long ago. Hours turned into days as they immersed themselves in the annals of Havenbrook's history. Fragments of the past, buried beneath layers of obscurity, slowly unveiled themselves. Each revelation brought them closer to understanding the stranger's enigmatic purpose and the events that had set their tranquil town ablaze. Then, amidst the sea of forgotten lore, their eyes fell upon a worn and weathered diary, a relic of a bygone era. Its pages, filled with delicate penmanship, held the secrets of an individual whose identity had long been lost to time. Emma's hands trembled with anticipation as she carefully opened the diary, as if awakening a dormant spirit. Words spilled forth from the diary's pages, a testimony to a world that had been cloaked in shadows. The ink danced across the parchment, revealing tales of a clandestine society that had thrived in the heart of Havenbrook decades ago. Its members, bound by ancient rituals and a shared purpose, had left an indelible mark upon the town's history. Emma and Daniel pored over the diary's contents, deciphering cryptic passages and unraveling the society's rituals. Clues emerged like shards of glass, their edges sharp and multifaceted. They were drawn deeper into a web of intrigue, their understanding of Havenbrook's past intertwined with the stranger's arrival. The diary hinted at an artifact, an object of immense power that had long been lost to time. Its whereabouts, shrouded in secrecy, whispered promises of untold consequences. Emma and Daniel realized that the stranger's presence might have awoken dormant forces, setting in motion a series of events with far-reaching implications. With each revelation, the weight of their discoveries pressed upon them, their determination tempered by the gravity of the situation. Emma and Daniel were no longer merely unraveling a mystery, they were navigating a treacherous landscape of hidden truths, where the line between friend and foe blurred. As they closed the diary, its secrets now etched into their minds, Emma and Daniel shared a knowing look. Their journey had only just begun, and the path ahead was fraught with peril. But armed with the knowledge they had gained, they were prepared to face the darkness that lurked within Havenbrook and confront the stranger whose arrival had set their world ablaze. Together, they set forth into the night, their resolve unyielding, ready to uncover the next piece of the puzzle that would lead them closer to the truth. The stage was set, and the secrets of Havenbrook awaited their intrepid exploration. The air in Havenbrook grew heavy with anticipation, as if the town itself held its breath, aware of the impending storm that loomed on the horizon. Emma and Daniel, armed with newfound knowledge, were determined to uncover the truth behind the stranger's arrival and the enigmatic events that had begun to unravel the fabric of their once peaceful community. As dawn broke, casting a soft golden light upon the town, news of an unsettling incident reverberated through Havenbrook like ripples on a pond. A prominent figure, well known and respected within the community, had vanished without a trace. Whispers of concern and speculation spread like wildfire, intertwining with the tendrils of fear that had taken root since the stranger's arrival. Emma and Daniel sensed a connection, a hidden thread weaving the stranger's presence with the sudden disappearance. They embarked on a quest to delve deeper into the vanishing, determined to find the missing piece of the puzzle that might unlock the truth behind the stranger's intentions. Their investigation took them to the heart of Havenbrook, where the disappearance had occurred. The once bustling square now stood deserted, a ghostly reminder of the absence that had gripped the town. Emma's journalistic instincts kicked into high gear as she interviewed witnesses, attempting to piece together the events leading up to the disappearance. Through careful questioning, they uncovered fragments of information, hints of something more sinister lurking beneath the surface. The whispers spoke of shadowy figures lurking in the night, of hushed conversations in darkened corners, and of a pervasive sense of unease that had permeated the town. Emma and Daniel knew they were treading dangerous ground, their every step watched by unseen eyes. The stranger's presence had awoken dormant forces, stirring a darkness that threatened to swallow Havenbrook whole. But the pair refused to be deterred, their resolve bolstered by the urgency of the situation. Their investigation led them to the missing figure's residence, a place frozen in time, its walls echoing with memories and unanswered questions. Emma and Daniel combed through the home, searching for any clue that might shed light on the disappearance. They discovered fragments of a life shattered, a room frozen in disarray, hinting at a struggle that had taken place in the dead of night. As they gathered evidence and connected the dots, a chilling realization gripped them: their pursuit of truth had brought them to the attention of someone who sought to guard the secrets that lay buried within Havenbrook's history. Subtle threats began to manifest: a whisper in the wind, an anonymous note slipped under the door, warning them to abandon their investigation, to let the darkness consume their curiosity. But Emma and Daniel were undeterred. They knew that they had stumbled upon something far greater than themselves, a truth that needed to be unearthed for the sake of Havenbrook and its inhabitants. The disappearance became a catalyst, fueling their determination to expose the stranger's intentions and unravel the web of deception that ensnared the town. As twilight painted the sky in hues of purple and gold, Emma and Daniel retreated to the safety of their shared sanctuary, a haven amidst the storm. They sifted through the evidence they had gathered, piecing together fragments of truth, ready to confront the shadows that lurked in the corners of their investigation. Their resolve had solidified, and with every passing moment, the veil that concealed Havenbrook's secrets grew thinner. Armed with determination and a growing understanding of the stakes, Emma and Daniel braced themselves for the battles yet to come, ready to face the darkness head-on and bring the truth to light. Emma and Daniel, consumed by a thirst for knowledge, found themselves drawn to the haven of the town library. It stood as a fortress of books, its shelves laden with untold stories and forgotten whispers of the past. They hoped that within those sacred walls, they would discover a thread that would unravel the enigma surrounding the stranger's identity. With hushed voices, they approached the librarian, a wise and weathered soul who seemed to possess the knowledge of 1,000 lifetimes. They shared their quest, their desire to uncover the truth that lay hidden within the stranger's past. The librarian's eyes twinkled with understanding, and with a nod, they were led to a secluded corner where a collection of ancient tomes awaited their eager minds. Together, they delved into the labyrinth of dusty pages, scanning titles and skimming through passages, searching for any shred of information that might hold the key to unlocking the stranger's secrets. Hours melded into one another as they sifted through the vast sea of knowledge, their fingertips brushing against the faded spines of forgotten tales. Just as they were about to lose hope, their eyes fell upon a worn leather-bound diary tucked away on a high shelf. The librarian's wrinkled hands carefully retrieved the treasure, its cover worn with age, as if it held within it the weight of centuries. The diary bore the name of a long-lost soul, an individual whose existence had faded into the annals of time. Emma's heart quickened as she gently opened the diary, as if unveiling a forbidden realm. The diary's pages whispered ancient secrets, a life lived, dreams shattered, and a journey of discovery that mirrored their own. The stranger's name appeared within those delicate pages, shedding light on a past obscured by shadows. With bated breath, they read the diary's passages, each word unveiling a layer of the stranger's life. Fragments of his experiences, his desires, and his connections to Havenbrook came to life, painting a portrait of a complex individual driven by a purpose that remained tantalizingly out of reach. As the hours melted away, Emma and Daniel discovered cryptic clues and obscure references, intertwining the stranger's story with the very fabric of Havenbrook's history. They unearthed connections to a secret society that had once held sway over the town, weaving a tapestry of intrigue that spanned generations. But within the diary's pages, a disconcerting truth began to emerge. The stranger's presence was not a mere happenstance but a carefully orchestrated plan, carefully woven into the fabric of Havenbrook's existence. It became clear that their pursuit of answers had set in motion a chain of events with far-reaching consequences, drawing them deeper into a web of intrigue they never could have anticipated. With each revelation, Emma and Daniel's determination grew, fueled by a sense of urgency to uncover the truth that lay buried beneath layers of secrecy. The diary had become their guiding light, illuminating a path fraught with danger and uncertainty. As they closed the diary, its pages filled with the stranger's untold stories, Emma and Daniel shared a silent understanding. Their pursuit had taken on a new dimension, their quest for answers intertwined with the destiny of Havenbrook itself. Armed with the knowledge they had gained, they prepared to confront the unknown, ready to navigate the treacherous waters that lay ahead. The stranger's identity remained shrouded, his true purpose veiled in mystery. But Emma and Daniel, bound by an unbreakable bond of curiosity and resilience, stood united in their resolve. They were now more determined than ever to unravel the secrets that gripped their town, to shine a light upon the stranger's past, and to uncover the truth that would reshape their understanding of Havenbrook forever. The air in the room grew heavy as Emma and Daniel continued to unravel the secrets hidden within the diary's pages. The weight of the past bore down upon them, unveiling a dark truth that lurked beneath the surface of Havenbrook's seemingly tranquil facade. Within the depths of the diary, they discovered a passage that sent shivers down their spines, a chilling account linking the stranger to a tragic event that had haunted the town decades ago. The words painted a vivid picture of sorrow and loss, revealing a connection between the stranger's past and the shadows that had long cast their pall over Havenbrook. As they pieced together the fragmented narratives, a disturbing revelation emerged: the existence of a secret society that had once operated within the town. Its members, cloaked in secrecy and wielding unseen influence, had shaped Havenbrook's destiny from the shadows. The diary hinted at a web of intrigue and manipulation, its tendrils stretching back through the annals of time. Emma's mind raced, drawing connections between the stranger's arrival, the secret society, and the unexplained phenomena that had plagued Havenbrook. It became clear that the stranger's presence had awakened the dormant secrets of the past, unleashing forces that had lain dormant for decades. They realized that their pursuit of truth had far-reaching implications, beyond the disappearance of the prominent figure and the stranger's identity. Emma's eyes widened with understanding, a realization that the stranger's arrival might not have been by chance but a deliberate catalyst, set in motion to bring Havenbrook's hidden sins to light. The weight of responsibility settled upon their shoulders. They understood that the line between unraveling the truth and succumbing to the darkness was perilously thin. Yet, armed with their newfound knowledge, they knew they could not turn away from the path they had chosen. With each revelation, Emma and Daniel became acutely aware of the danger they faced. The secret society's influence still lingered, its presence woven into the very fabric of Havenbrook. They knew that uncovering the stranger's past and the society's machinations would require courage, resilience, and an unwavering determination to confront the demons that haunted their town. Emma's journalist instincts kicked into overdrive as she realized the gravity of the situation. The town's history, once held captive by whispers and half-truths, beckoned to be unmasked. She was prepared to shine a light on the sinister past that had ensnared Havenbrook, even if it meant risking her own safety. As they closed the diary, their minds brimming with newfound knowledge, Emma and Daniel shared a solemn pact. They would confront the shadows of the past, face the secrets that had been buried, and fight to reclaim Havenbrook from the clutches of darkness. The stranger's arrival had become a turning point, a catalyst that thrust them into a battle against unseen forces and the sins of their town's past. Emma and Daniel steeled themselves for the trials ahead, ready to confront the malevolent powers that sought to preserve the secrets that had haunted Havenbrook for far too long. In the depths of their hearts, they knew that the journey ahead would test their resolve, their trust in each other, and their belief in the power of truth. The secrets of Havenbrook were on the cusp of being unearthed, and Emma and Daniel would not rest until the town's dark history was brought into the light. The air in Havenbrook grew thick with tension as Emma and Daniel delved deeper into the labyrinth of secrets that enveloped their town. The pursuit of truth had ignited a flickering flame, casting a pall of unease over its unsuspecting inhabitants. As they continued their relentless quest for answers, Emma and Daniel became acutely aware that their actions had not gone unnoticed. Subtle threats and acts of intimidation began to assail them, leaving no doubt that their search for the truth had drawn the attention of unseen adversaries. Whispers in the shadows and veiled warnings painted a vivid picture of the danger that lurked in their wake. The stranger's presence took on a more menacing tone, an ominous figure lurking in the periphery of their lives. His eyes, once filled with intrigue, now bore the glint of calculated malevolence. It became evident that the stranger would stop at nothing to protect the secrets that had been awakened by his arrival. The townsfolk, sensing the shifting tides of fate, retreated into a state of guarded silence. Fear danced in their eyes as they cast wary glances in Emma and Daniel's direction, unsure of where their loyalties lay. The once open community transformed into a maze of closed doors and hushed conversations, shielding their own involvement in the web of intrigue that had ensnared Havenbrook. Emma and Daniel understood the gravity of the situation. The tension that hung in the air was a clear indication that they were on the right track, inching closer to the heart of Havenbrook's dark past. But they also realized the need for caution, for each step they took could have dire consequences. With every new revelation, Emma's journalistic instincts fought against the rising tide of fear. She yearned to expose the truth, to unravel the secrets that had held Havenbrook captive for far too long. But she also recognized the importance of treading carefully, of understanding that their actions had repercussions not only for themselves but for the entire town. Daniel, too, felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. His analytical mind worked tirelessly to decipher the tangled threads of the mystery they faced. He knew that their pursuit of truth had consequences, and he grappled with the fear of putting Emma and himself in harm's way. Yet, their shared determination to bring justice to Havenbrook fueled his resolve, giving him the strength to push forward. Emma and Daniel realized they needed allies, individuals they could trust in a town plagued by uncertainty. They sought out those who, like them, yearned for the truth to prevail over fear. Together, they formed a small circle of confidants, a tight-knit group united by a common purpose. As they met in secret, behind closed doors and dimly lit corners, their plan took shape. They would continue their investigation, gathering evidence, and seeking out the key players in Havenbrook's sinister past. But they would do so with caution, mindful of the ever-present threat that loomed over them. The tension in Havenbrook continued to mount, the stakes growing higher with each passing day. Emma and Daniel understood that they were teetering on the edge of a precipice. One wrong move could plunge them into a bottomless abyss of danger and despair. Yet, armed with determination and the support of their trusted allies, they braced themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Their pursuit of truth had become a tightrope act, a delicate balance between unmasking the darkness that plagued their town and protecting themselves from the forces that sought to silence them. Emma and Daniel would not be deterred. They were committed to unraveling the secrets that gripped Havenbrook, even as the tension in the air crackled with foreboding. The moon hung high in the night sky, casting an ethereal glow over the streets of Havenbrook. Emma, still reeling from the mounting tension that surrounded her, found herself on the precipice of a pivotal moment. It was in the dead of night when her phone rang, a mysterious call from an unknown number, promising vital information that could shake the foundations of their investigation. Curiosity mingled with trepidation as Emma answered the call, her voice laced with caution. The anonymous source on the other end spoke in hushed tones, their words laden with urgency and veiled warnings. They claimed to hold the missing puzzle piece, a key that would unlock the secrets that had plagued Havenbrook for generations. Emma's heart raced as she listened intently, her mind racing with possibilities. The source arranged a meeting, offering to divulge the information in a secluded location. Though apprehension gnawed at her, she knew she had to follow the path that had been laid before her, no matter how perilous it seemed. Under the cover of darkness, Emma arrived at the designated meeting spot, a desolate alleyway cloaked in shadows. The cold breeze whispered through the narrow passage, adding an eerie sense of foreboding to the air. As she nervously scanned her surroundings, her eyes fell upon a figure standing at the end of the alley, a hooded silhouette, their face obscured from view. Emma's heart skipped a beat as she approached cautiously, her senses on high alert. The figure's presence exuded an aura of danger, a warning that this encounter was far from ordinary. She could sense the weight of their gaze upon her, their intentions shrouded in mystery. Words hung in the air, tense and pregnant with unspoken threats. The figure's voice, distorted by the hood that concealed their identity, pierced through the silence. They spoke with a chilling authority, urging Emma to abandon her investigation, to let the secrets of Havenbrook lie buried in the depths of history. But Emma, fueled by an unyielding resolve, refused to be silenced. Her determination burned bright, igniting a defiant spark within her. She met the figure's gaze with unwavering determination, ready to face whatever consequences awaited her. Undeterred, the hooded figure stepped closer, their presence enveloping Emma in a shroud of darkness. Their words carried a sinister edge, a warning laced with the weight of impending doom. They spoke of dire consequences, of a path strewn with danger and despair. But Emma's resolve remained unbroken, her spirit untamed. In that fleeting moment, Emma understood the depths of the battle they were engaged in. The forces that sought to protect Havenbrook's secrets had emerged from the shadows, revealing themselves in the most unsettling of ways. The encounter served as a stark reminder that the stakes were higher than ever, that the pursuit of truth came at a heavy price. As the figure faded into the night, leaving Emma alone in the alley, a newfound determination burned within her. She would not be swayed by threats or intimidation. If anything, the encounter had only fueled her thirst for answers, solidifying her commitment to unveil the secrets that haunted Havenbrook. With the weight of the encounter etched into her memory, Emma retreated into the night, her mind buzzing with newfound resolve. She understood that the journey ahead would be perilous, that the shadows would grow darker and the obstacles more treacherous. But she was ready to plunge deeper into the abyss, to uncover the truths that lay hidden in the heart of Havenbrook, no matter the cost. Emma's resolve burned bright, an unwavering flame that pushed her forward. Fueled by her determination, she made a dangerous decision, an audacious move that could have dire consequences. She chose to confront the stranger directly, to demand answers about his true intentions in Havenbrook. With her heart pounding in her chest, Emma sought out a public setting, a bustling cafe in the heart of town. It was a place where the veil of anonymity was lifted, where the eyes of the townsfolk bore witness to their encounter. She knew that confronting the stranger in such a manner carried risks, but she was no longer willing to play the role of a passive observer. As Emma approached the stranger, her gaze locked onto his enigmatic eyes. She could feel the weight of his presence, the air thick with unspoken tension. With a firm voice, she confronted him, her words cutting through the chatter of the cafe. "What are you hiding, stranger?" she demanded, her voice laced with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. "Why have you come to Havenbrook?" The stranger's face remained inscrutable, a mask that betrayed nothing of his true intentions. His lips curved into a faint smile, a subtle response that only deepened Emma's doubts. She pressed on, her determination unyielding. "I have seen the secrets that lie beneath this town's surface," she continued, her voice unwavering. "I refuse to let them remain buried. Tell me, stranger, what role do you play in all of this? What is your connection to Havenbrook's dark past?" The stranger's response was evasive, his words shrouded in ambiguity. He spoke in riddles, weaving a web of half-truths and enigmatic phrases. Each answer left Emma with more doubts than before, as if the stranger's purpose was to obfuscate rather than illuminate. As the conversation unfolded, Emma realized the futility of her attempt to extract answers. The stranger was a master of manipulation, skillfully sidestepping her inquiries. With each passing moment, her frustration grew, mingling with a sense of unease. The cafe buzzed with the whispers of onlookers, their curiosity piqued by the confrontation unfolding before them. But the stranger seemed unfazed, as if he held the upper hand in this delicate dance of words. It became clear to Emma that she had underestimated the complexity of the stranger's presence in Havenbrook. Defeated yet undeterred, Emma watched as the stranger rose from his seat, his departure leaving a void of unanswered questions. As he walked away, a cloud of uncertainty lingered in his wake, a reminder of the enigma that shrouded his true nature. Emma's mind raced, her determination undiminished. Though her encounter with the stranger had not yielded the answers she sought, it had only steeled her resolve to uncover the truth. She knew that the path ahead would be treacherous, filled with hidden obstacles and unforeseen dangers. But she was prepared to tread it, no matter the cost. Leaving the cafe, Emma found solace in the knowledge that she was not alone in her pursuit. Daniel and their small circle of allies stood by her side, ready to face the challenges that awaited them. Together, they would continue their investigation, piecing together the fragments of Havenbrook's dark past, inch by painstaking inch. As the stranger disappeared into the depths of Havenbrook, leaving a trail of unanswered questions in his wake, Emma knew that the journey had only just begun. She was determined to uncover the truth, to bring light to the shadows that haunted her town. The stakes had never been higher, but neither had her resolve. Emma trudged wearily into the newspaper office, her steps heavy with the weight of her encounter with the enigmatic stranger. The confrontation had left her feeling defeated, her spirit dampened by his evasiveness. Exhaustion clung to her like a suffocating shroud, threatening to extinguish the flickering flame of her determination. Seeking solace amidst the familiar surroundings of the office, Emma sank into her chair, her mind still buzzing with unanswered questions. The room was filled with the scent of ink and the quiet hum of the printing press, a sanctuary that had witnessed countless stories unfold. As she reviewed her notes, her gaze fell upon a pile of photographs that she had gathered during her investigation. Weary fingers flipped through the images, each captured moment serving as a frozen fragment of Havenbrook's troubled history. But amidst the stack, hidden among the mundane snapshots, lay a photograph that held a profound secret, a revelation that would send tremors through Emma's very being. Her eyes widened as she studied the image, her breath caught in her throat. The photograph depicted the stranger, his presence unmistakable, but there was something more, an object of immense power, carefully cradled in his hands. It was a long-lost artifact, rumored to possess unimaginable abilities, its existence shrouded in myth and legend. As realization dawned upon Emma, her heart quickened its pace. The photograph hinted at a connection, a sinister thread that wove the stranger into the tapestry of Havenbrook's past. It was a revelation that challenged everything she thought she knew, setting her on a path that would push the boundaries of her understanding. The artifact, steeped in secrets and ancient lore, held the key to the stranger's true intentions. Its power, if harnessed, could alter the very fabric of Havenbrook's existence. Emma's mind raced, connecting the dots, unraveling the intricate web of intrigue that had ensnared her town. With newfound energy surging through her veins, Emma vowed to pursue this revelation with unwavering determination. The artifact became the focal point of her investigation, a catalyst that would unlock the truth, expose the stranger's true purpose, and shed light on the hidden forces that had conspired to keep Havenbrook under their sway. As she delved deeper into her research, Emma realized that the artifact's significance extended far beyond the stranger. It had a profound impact on the town's history, intertwining with the tales of old and the darkest chapters of Havenbrook's past. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Emma knew that she stood at a precipice, a juncture where her pursuit of truth would intersect with the forces that sought to keep the artifact hidden. The stakes had never been higher, the danger more palpable. With her allies by her side, Emma prepared to embark on a treacherous journey, following the trail of the artifact and its connection to the stranger. She understood that each step would bring her closer to the heart of Havenbrook's secrets, but also deeper into the clutches of those who would stop at nothing to protect them. As the weight of the revelation settled upon her shoulders, Emma felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. She knew that the road ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but she was determined to unveil the truth that lay obscured in the shadows. The artifact and its connection to the stranger would be her compass, guiding her towards a truth that had the power to reshape the destiny of Havenbrook forever.